What is up, fellow bench warmers? Welcome to your daily fantasy week. Hey guys, Judgment Day week 2. What week is it? Week 2 of Judgment Day. For today, Judgment Day. If you're a first-time listener here, Judgment Day means the last day of the fantasy week. And this is where you will know whether you win or lose the week. I guess final day to make your moves or final chance for you to overcome whatever deficit you have in your fantasy teams. Komish, I'm with Komish, Eric, and then I'm of course your host JJT. Komish, how did you do this week? Are you happy? I can see it in your face.
Well, 12, 11 leagues, no, in our FBW leagues, won 4, lost 2, but the 2 that I lost were bad losses, like 2 sevens. So that hurts. And then the other leagues, I lost in one league. I lost by 1 point, 1 steal, 1 block. So and I lost like 4 or 5, I think. So I could have been 7-2 easily. And I had Jokic, I had Jamal in the last game. So it just didn't go my way. My opponent added Bismack Biombo. Went ahead of
5 blocks.
Went 5 blocks, and he got the blocks. He got the blocks based on that.
All right. So I know this week, since you mentioned Bismack Biombo, and probably this is going to be the debate in some managers' head whether I know this was supposed to be yesterday's news, but in case they're still available, Bismack or Jock Landale. Both had good so game. Landale might have had a better stat line today because he had 16 points, 7 rebounds, I think. But Biombo had 5 blocks, easy 5 blocks today.
Yeah, Landale has been the backup center for Ayton the whole season so far. Biombo was DNP for a long time. That's why when Ayton went down, I was shocked that they started Biombo over Landale. So that was a surprise. And they still started him now. I think they just want to keep Landale off the bench. But if you ask me, I Biombo's rebounds and blocks will be there. So I want that, and most teams need that. So I'll probably go with him. Landale can give you the 16 points he did today, but sometimes he'll go 8, 9. And then he doesn't have as much blocks. He doesn't have as much rebounds usually, although he had more today. But usually his rebounds are just 6, 7. Biombo has a chance to go 10, usually 11 or 8 or 9, higher rebound. So more specific are the strengths of Biombo. More specific. So I'll go Biombo.
Yeah, so if you're, or if you want the offensive skill set of a center, you go Landale. If you want the defensive skill set, go Biombo. Because I think till timeshare, I don't think one would be used more than the other. I think it's more of a shared time. Like today, they had 23 and 21 minutes, I think, and I think they're gonna be close. It's gonna be like that most of the time. I don't think there's a big gap in terms of the usage as well. One player, maybe we could talk about this one player today. We're gonna talk about some sell high and buy low players, maybe, and some worry players. Donovan Mitchell. So there have been, it's difficult to assess this. I don't know how you find it, but because, no Garland, Donovan Mitchell has been playing really well. I mean, really, really well. I think even better than the Utah days in the first 2 weeks. But this is no Garland. What do we expect? What are you expecting here? I'm not... right now, after seeing what he's done and after seeing the dynamics between Trey and DeJounte, I can sense that he might not be this good, but he won't be bad as well. He won't be as bad as we expected initially.
Yeah, the numbers will go down. The numbers will go down for sure. But how much down? I don't think it's as bad as we all thought it would be. Start of the season. For sure, he's playing well. He's hot. When Garland comes in, Garland will take still a couple of time to get back into the rhythm. So it might be Garland who would give a little bit more of the stats, in a sense that, the usage would be right now. The rhythm is there with Donovan and the Cavs, right? Garland is, even if he's the old guy there, he has to adjust, not the other way around. They won't adjust for him. He's gonna adjust to see how he fits, and that's why I think Garland will take a bigger hit for now than Donovan. But Donovan won't score 32 a game for the whole year, right?
Yeah,
so I think it will go down. It'll go down.
And if you're gonna ask us whether Donovan is a sell high, I don't think you can sell high on Donovan because of that Garland dynamics. I just feel like, if you offer Garland Mitchell to a manager and try to get maybe his first round pick, right? I don't think that manager would bite there. Just because they haven't seen Garland yet, and they know that, especially in very competitive leagues, they know that there could be some impact. Garland's return could have some impact as well on Donovan. So
I think the right term is not sell high. Maybe sell for the maybe other player that you might like more, might have a better stat set. I think DeJounte is one. DeJounte is one example. No, I think DeJounte is doable.
Yeah. So I think, so not really a sell high, but you could get better value. I guess probably the right term is, if you don't need the skill set of Donovan, the scoring, you might want other skill sets, different skill set just to trade, and you might be able to trade a little higher in terms of the draft value, I guess.
I'll give players, like I said, DeJounte. I think Fred VanVleet, I think, will end up higher than Donovan. Although he's hot himself, although he struggled the last game. So there might be a window there, you could get it. But the others, I don't prefer them over Donovan, like the Aaron Fox. I know he's hot also, but I think Donovan's going to end up higher than him. I don't think you can get the Trae Youngs or the Halliburtons. Okay, maybe somebody like Ant Edwards, if he's struggling, maybe you want to swap those players because Edwards long term might be better. But I think at this point, both of them might end up similar
or close. I still prefer
tier,
Donovan though.
Yeah, some people might prefer Donovan. Some people might prefer Ant Edwards. It's preference. So yeah, I don't see much really except the players I mentioned. I think the DeJounte and Fred VanVleet. Unless you would want to change positions, like go Bear maybe.
Yeah.
Something like that. Then you get more options there.
So yeah, he's not really a sell high, but let's talk about some maybe sell high player. Bol Bol is played 29 minutes today, which was surprising because he didn't exceed 25 minutes.
Yeah.
And today he played almost 30 minutes. Usually, I don't know if it's just my judgment, but I don't see a lot of big guys like that, like the way how big Bol Bol is, play more than 25 minutes. Like if you look at JaVale, those guys, maybe Bamba before, but this one is bigger. Bol Bol's bigger. 29 minutes. Do you think that's sustainable for him?
He won't play 29 minutes. He's an injury-prone player also. But he will play a lot. He will play as much as his body can take. Given the new dynamic in Orlando, they don't have a point guard. They're starting Wagner as the point guard. Yeah. And so with that, a lot of minutes opened up. And they still don't have Isaac. And he's the Magic since training camp have talked him up. They have been saying good things about him. I read all of those. I heard all of those. I did not believe them because of how deep I thought their roster was. I thought Kiki was still ahead.
And who would have thought he would go? Yeah, who would have thought he would go ahead of Bamba in terms of the order?
New contract. Then Bamba has new contract. Plus the fact that Isaac, I never thought Isaac would still not play. I mean, I thought he would be every other game or maybe no back-to-backs or maybe limited minutes, but I didn't think he would totally not play. That is not what I was thinking. So given all of those that happened, Yeah, I think Bol's minutes are sustainable as long as his body can take it. Now, is he a sell high? I think you could, because he's very, very, very appealing, appetizing to the eyes of managers.
The
You
stat
could
set, right? I mean, double
double.
double plus high block rate. We talked about.
Yeah.
Who did we? Oh, it was a DFS. I mean, we talked about Biombo having the, rebound and blocks. This one is a better version, and probably a more consistent one.
Yes.
But how high can you sell? That's the
It
biggest
depends
question.
on
When we talk about sell high, it's easy to say we can sell high, but how high?
But it depends really on your league, because I see like leagues that are asking about trade opinions, and I see how did they do this? How did they trade this guy for this guy? That's not gonna fly in our league. But it depends on your league. But you can go as high as you want. For me, for not second round, third round, around the middle, starting from the Potal Nurkic range.
Mm-hmm.
I know Potal has been sneaky good, but he's not been
as good as last year.
Player.
Not yet as good as last year.
And he's not a popular player. He hasn't scored as much. He hasn't. I mean, today 2 steals, 3 blocks. I know he had good rebounds, but there were games where he was just okay. Not much scoring. Rebounding was just
even players like Jarrett Allen. He hasn't been the Jarrett Allen of last season. So I mean, Evan Mobley might be too high. I mean, he was picked too high, so I don't think he is a player you can ask for. But at least in the center range, there are those guys. Although Potel, Jarrett Allen might be a little too high. Plus, Jarrett Allen is kind of a favorite among fantasy managers, especially the competitive ones. They like Jarrett Allen just because of decent free throw shooting, right?
Yeah, and I'm just gonna say this. Bol Bol is 73rd. Potal, we just talked about Potal, is 69th. So they're near each other, and so you could say it's buy low, sell high kind of a deal. And then Capella is 72nd, Mobley 74. Bol Bol and Mobley are actually right next to each other. I know I'm not saying you could get Mobley for Bol Bol. You'll be a good trade negotiator if you do that. But I'm saying it's possible. That's how you sell high. That's how you sell high. That's how high you can go.
How about other guard? Do you have guards there in the list?
With guards, yeah, but
because center for center, I mean, usually that's not usually you want to trade for why would I get another center for my center?
Yeah,
right.
I would say a guy like Vassell for one. Vassell started very well, but he's injured. While he's injured, and then of course they said he's gonna come back soon. So before he comes back, now that Bol Bol is playing well, you can make that switch. You can do Bol Bol for Vassell. I think that's very doable. Some people are saying,
is it
maybe those? I think if the manager, there are managers that can fall for that. I'm saying there's managers. We won't do that. I will keep Vassell, but I'm saying it's possible. If you're looking at players, easier of course maybe guys like Jordan Poole, because he's Tyler Hero. These are guards that you can easily get for Bol Bol. I think the negotiation will be smoother. But if you want to go for why not try this? Why not Vassell? Why not try this? This player. I think
go from highest to lowest in terms of priority. Yeah.
A lot of guards. You can go D'Angelo Russell. I know he's good, but I mean managers won't.
No, he's not a favorite. He's not a manager favorite. So Bol Bol's big sell high here. Hard to see him sustain that many minutes, and hard to see him sustain that many usage. I mean, like I said, I mean it might just be me, but the judgment of players like him, who's freakishly big, right, tall, and he moves well. I know for a big guy, but it's just weird, right? And players like those are usually very injury prone, and when they get injured, it's hard for them to get back healthy. I mean, if you think about it, Bol Bol is probably just a bigger Jonathan Isaac, and Jonathan Isaac hasn't even played, right?
But we're not saying you have to sell. I think while the minutes are not sustainable, I think the production that he is giving can be sustained. The rebounds and blocks and some threes, that can be sustained. He can be top 90, top 80 top 80 the rest of the year, possible.
Yeah.
Per game, possible. But I'm just saying, if you want to safer option or you want to sell high, because if he's top 80 and get a top 50 player, then why not do that, right?
Yeah.
That is just what we're saying. But if we're not saying you must do it, I
Yeah.
must
If,
trade Bol
if
Bol, and you
there's no
settle,
need, I mean, if he's
yeah,
helping
and you
your
settle
team.
for someone else that ends up lower than him. So
Yeah.
don't settle. You just have to find a player that, hey, I like this. I'm sure this player is better.
Yeah.
Then you go from there.
Plus, you probably just pick off Bol Bol from the waiver wire.
The
right?
waivers.
And, I mean, very little risk there when
Yes.
it comes to selling a player like that who you just picked off the waiver wire. That's
Franz
just pretty much
Wagner.
your last pick.
Franz Wagner, he struggled even at the point guard.
He's been struggling. He's been
struggling. And I feel it's because he's not used to being a point guard in the NBA. I mean, looking at it this way, we thought it's good for him to be the point forward, but it's hard to transition to a different position all of a sudden where you're not really used to doing that. So there's an adjustment period. So I think he's a buy low. I think Franz Wagner is a buy low.
Yeah.
And so that could be a Bol Wagner trade easily.
Yeah. So there are some here. Those are some options you can have for Bol Bol. Others sell high, maybe Bojan Bogdanovic. Not really, but this guy's really not a, how do you get this? Not a very enticing player to pick. If you think about it, he's, even in the drafts, we all know he's going to be scoring in Detroit, but he really went low sometimes, towards the 11th, 12th round.
I'll dispute that in a sense that I don't think he's on Harrison Barnes in terms of trade. A lot of managers value the threes and the scoring.
A little higher.
In our league, one league that I'm in, a manager traded him for Keegan Murray. So I was saying, when that happened, of course that went through. Bojan is higher than Keegan, but I told the manager that you did well. I mean, getting Keegan for Bojan eventually will pay off. That's being patient. And he said he knows that in the first month, maybe of this trade, after this trade, first few months, weeks, he might be down. It might be Bojan over Keegan. But he knows down the line, Keegan will pay off. So that is a move that you have to look, long term when you do deals like this. I said Jabari Smith, he's been struggling. I think long term, Jabari will be better than Bojan. I think. If Bojan proves us wrong, then good for him. I don't think he's going to shoot.
I'm actually worried about Jabari. Later, we can talk about him in a bit. But other than Bojan, Sadiq had a good game today. Maybe you would want to sell. He has been inconsistent, though. So, you really have to sell hard for the other manager to accept.
For me, if he has a great game, just sell him. He's a sell guy. He's not sell high. Just a sell guy.
Package him with Bol Bol, maybe.
Package him. Maybe he's more of a +1 guy, but if you look at the stats, empty stats, he's more empty than Bojan. Bojan at least has been consistent. With Sadiq, he's been way affected by Bojan's entry. And he doesn't have steals, he doesn't have blocks, he doesn't do much. 5 rebounds a game.
Yeah.
I mean, doesn't do anything. But if he gets 30 points and then gets hot with 7 or 8 threes, maybe a manager would make a mistake and then get him. But I'm telling you, I traded for Bay start of the season. I traded Kyle Lowry because I didn't have a small forward in my team, in our league, not the FPW.
So now you're regretting it.
Yes, I'm regretting that because my when we drafted, I found out I had no small forward, as in 0. So when that was offered, I said okay. I rejected that offer, but after the draft, I saw my lineup. I didn't have a small forward. I offered it again. I said okay, I'll take the offer. But looking back, I should have waited and just looked for a small forward somewhere else for Kyle Lowry. But there, something like that. I mean, any point guard, any point guard with actual good assists or steals better than Sadiq. And actually in draft, Sadiq was being picked ahead of KPJ, which is hindsight 2020. But that was the right move.
And KPJ has been really balling. I mean, the percentages have been really good. I mean, not the usual percentages that we know KPJ for. And the turnovers are, controlled.
Yes.
Not really crazy rates. So yeah, Sadiq Bey, AD. We've been asked about AD. Trading
what
AD.
have been asked?
How is it? How do you sell AD? The the word was sell high on AD. I mean, I don't know how high can you sell AD for.
AD for Cat.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, the manager who picked Cat, maybe he thought there was still the rebounds block stuff that AD is doing right now. The stocks and the rebounds are very good.
And if you're gonna sell AD, I think you should sell AD now. Right now. The way he's been playing, I mean, this is what, just the sixth game? And if you watch the game earlier, I mean, just a simple move hurts his back. And that could linger throughout the season. And if that lingers throughout the season, I doubt he's gonna play through every single game. He's gonna miss a lot.
Again, this is long term. This is timing. This is hard to really say which is the right time. But for me, JJT is correct. Plus the fact that there's the Lakers situation. If somehow everything unravels and they're like 10 and 25 somewhere, I know they won't tank. I know they cannot tank. But if it goes down to that, we don't know what will happen. We don't know what decisions, what trades, what things will happen in the Lakers. It's going to be uncertain. So they might bring in more, maybe a center or more help offensively and everything. That things could change. So right now, for me, he's a first round guy. So if I can get Karl Anthony Towns for him, let's say, I would do it. If I can get any other first round guy, I would do it. But I would not settle for, let's say, a Bam, who we know is a struggle also.
Yeah.
I won't settle for that just to trade.
Or you won't settle for maybe Paul George, who is probably can be considered also a quote unquote buy low candidate, right? But again, it's hard to price AD on a trade as well. So I think you have to really think. I think it's hard to trade AD one-on-one. You should put an enticing piece there. Add an enticing piece that's probably better than the second player of the other team. Because every competitive manager knows about AD, knows about the history.
I guess if you want to be really, cavalier about it, you can try LaMelo. If you have patience, I mean, LaMelo should be back in a week or two, maybe 2 weeks. If you can wait for it. Yeah.
Here's one. If someone offered Shea for AD, SGA.
I'd rather go AD. As I said, they cannot tank. Although situations can change, but with SGA, they can tank. So that's more scary. Although, I'm just worried about it. But the fact for me is like Shea is better than AD right now if they're healthy, but not that far. Yeah. They're almost in the same tier. So risk for risk, I'll probably go AD for now because the Lakers need him. The Lakers need him to play. Yeah, but the Lakers will try to. The reason
I brought that up because that's usually the trade. Those are the kind of trades you get for a risk player, right?
Yeah.
AD for maybe another risky guy. At least we're both taking on similar risk. And currently we're both close in terms of the ranking. So, it's a fair trade, right? So that's where you usually get AD. That's why I told you to maybe just package him, put another guy there so that, you won't do a one-on-one trade because that's going to be a risk for risk type of trade.
Actually,
right?
SGA is number 1 season average right now in the NBA. He's number 1.
But SGA is considered a sell very high type of player. Right?
There's no other time to sell SGA than now.
Yeah.
He's number 1. How high can you go? He's number 1 already.
Yeah.
How good can he play?
But what can you get? Right? Who can you get him for? That's the biggest question. Because everyone knows, like AD, everyone knows about SGA, about the OKC tanking history. And, who do you get for SGA? I mean, I don't think, maybe, like you said, maybe players like Cat who's struggling could be, right? Could be an option.
Yeah.
LaMelo, in case you
just
could give
for
that
a peace of mind. Just for a piece of. Yeah, but last year, to be fair, SGA played 70 games last year.
Yeah.
So to be fair, it is not out of the realm that he plays through 68, 67, 70 games, 65 games this year. That is possible. So if he's playing this well, and you can't really get somebody that is like that for him, you need to give him up for another risky player, then maybe I'll just hold him.
Yeah.
I mean, if he's playing this well, it's gonna pay it off if he plays until week 12, 13, 14, 15. I don't know. Maybe he misses some games, and then week 17, 18, 19 he plays.
Yeah, it's in trading as well, you have to test the market and what can you get from. If you want to trade somebody like AD, Shea, try to ask managers what are they willing to give. That's how you go through it, not just offer players like they here and there, right?
And remember, our playoffs is not the playoffs of the NBA. Depends on your playoffs. When your playoffs start or end, it might just be March, or I mean, your season might end in March, and then the tanking silly season might not have started, unless you play until the rest of the whole season. Then that's different. So you have to look at your playoff schedule also. When it is? When is it? When is it?
Yeah. So SGA, AD, sell really high on those players. I mean, Russell Westbrook had a great game. Sell high right now, right now. Right?
Well, yeah. If you can sell him for what you can sell him for, then go. But I won't buy him. I won't trade.
I know. No one. I've seen Russell Westbrook being dropped in 14-team leagues. Not many, but he has been dropped in 14-team leagues. And today he showed he can still pile up some stats. So there might be some takers. I mean, maybe this is it, the turnaround for Westbrook. Just one game, but the window is so small because the next game you'll probably be bad once again. You don't know. So other players, let's talk about some buy low guys or maybe other worry players. Evan Mobley. We've been talking about Evan Mobley since week 1.
I think Mobley is still a buy low. He's been playing okay. He's decent. He when you watch the games, he's playing good defense. It's just the stats hasn't, it has not translated. I think eventually you're gonna find he's gonna be given more chances to score, more chances, everything. And the free throws are very encouraging for him.
Yeah.
So far, it's not as bad as last year.
You might want to wait for Garland. I mean, if you want to buy Evan Mobley, the time is now. But I have a feeling he'll play better when Garland's there. Because Garland distributes the ball better compared to, Donovan Mitchell. Donovan Mitchell is all about scoring a lot, right? Mostly. So I think the usage is being, taken by Donovan Mitchell. But Garland might help spread the ball more among, like I said a while ago, Jarrett Allen hasn't been that Jarrett Allen good last year, but Garland might help that cause as well.
Actually, Mobley's been playing well. It's the rebounds and the points are not there. 80%, 56% field goal, 80% free throw. That's encouraging. Yeah. And he's 70-something. So he's a buy low. He will finish top 50 for sure. He's gonna finish top 50. I'm very confident on saying that. The rebounds are at 6. That's not gonna stick at 6. It's gonna go higher than that. It's gonna be 8 or 9.
What's the scoring average though?
15. He's averaging 15. Yeah, 15 might be there, but I think he can go as a little higher, 17, 8. And then, he has 1.2 steals, 1.2 blocks right now. That goes already to the 50s. Yeah. Of course, with still chances to move up. So I think Mobley is a guy really I want to target.
Jabari Smith, I mentioned. I'm worried about Jabari Smith. Yeah.
Jabari will take a long time to adjust. As I said before, the frail body, the shooting. There were games he was okay, but it was the games where his shots fell.
Yeah.
But if his shots do not fall, it's kind of ugly for him because you gotta get a 3 out of 12 game.
No, not just that.
6 or 7. The rebounds also.
I'm actually worried about the usage. I mean, if he gets 8 rebounds, like I think today he had 8 rebounds, that's okay. I mean, 7, 8 rebounds, I don't expect him to go 10, 9, 10, 11 rebounds. But if he goes 6 to 8 rebounds, that's fine for me as a Jabari Smith owner in one of the leagues. The scoring, though, I'm worried because Jalen Green has been playing well. Kevin Porter Jr. has been playing well. Now Sengun has been, inserted into that starting lineup and has, gotten more usage. And he has turned out to be, Jabari has become a spot up shooter. And
He is.
whenever
He
he
has been.
is there, I don't think he's in the right spots to get a clear view, because I watched the game a while ago. He's really at the, weak side, and most of the time Kevin Porter or Jalen Green doesn't really see him as much, or there's no clear pass towards him. So I'm not sure
But
if it's just
another
one game, because I've just watched one
thing,
game.
no, it's been that way for majority of the time. And again, for him though, the biggest problem aside from that, the usage is not going to be there.
Yeah.
He will probably be more aggressive as he moves along his rookie season. But if he's averaging 13 right now, 13 points and 6 rebounds, if he averages 13 to 15, let's say 7 rebounds, we're fine. The problem is he's averaging 0.3 steals.
Yeah,
so for me, someone
that's
who's
another thing.
supposedly a good defender, steals wise in college he was, and then 1.3 blocks. The blocks were there, but I want one steal at least. That would help his value. That will help his value. That has not arrived, but I think that will come. And he has shown that in college. He has shown that he can do that. So I think it's there.
Yeah.
But I know
hopefully. How low?
Well, he's outside the 100s right now. So if you can get, let's say, Julius Randle, it's another player who's struggling. I would rather have him than Randall. I'd rather have him than, let's say, Mike Conley, who's also playing well. Maybe something like those deals.
Yeah.
Right?
But it's just disappointing, I guess, for someone who probably picked him at the 80s, right?
Yeah.
It's not as good. Just because you can see other rookies like Banchero, balling, giving great fantasy lines, and then of course Keegan has slowly picked it up. Even Jaden Ivey has slowly, has been good. But like I said, I think just for this season, I have a hunch that he'll probably be the fourth best rookie in fantasy. I don't think third might be the best. I still think it's either Banchero or Keegan top. I think we talked about this before.
I think Keegan's number one right now. Per game, Keegan's number one rookie. Actually, Banchero is past 100. I know people love Banchero, and I do.
Because he doesn't
Banchero,
give stocks.
No, he actually has stocks. He's same stocks with.
Why is he too low,
Jabari? He's low because he's shooting 43% from the field. He's shooting 73% from free throw line. So, I mean, those matter. The percentages matter head to head. So, or in Roto.
In Roto, it matters more, but in head to head, it's easier if you build well. Maybe you could easily, fix that with your other players. But I think the counting stats are so far way better than Keegan. At least the counting stats.
But
the averages,
if we're talking rank wise, Keegan will end up number one, I think.
Yeah, I think so too. I've said that even before the season started. I just feel like after watching the preseason games and the summer league, I have this feeling that Keegan would be the top rookie this year, fantasy wise. All right, who else? Paul George. Last, maybe we could do this last. Paul George. Buy low.
Well, tough. Buy low.
Another
I don't know how low you
player.
Can get. Yeah, I don't know how low you can get. It's really tough to. I believed in him, so I'm hoping this week he breaks out. But yeah, buy low in a sense that if it's really worth it, it's really low. I mean, if someone offers you Banchero for Paul George, yeah, sure, I'll take that deal. But if it's not like Desmond Bain, Jaylen Brown.
You mean if you're gonna give up Banchero for Paul George?
I'll be fine. But if you have to give up a guy like Desmond Bain, let's say, or Jaylen Brown even, is playing very well, I'm not that comfortable or confident that it will work out for you. So I'd rather keep my Bain. I'll keep my Jaylen Brown. I'll keep my Scotty Barnes maybe. Those are the same. But let's say Brandon Ingram. Okay. I mean, I know how injury prone Brandon Ingram is and has a lot of warts.
DeRozan.
I'd rather keep DeRozan right now. I mean, Levine's situation, right now, DeRozan is a better option right there. Cade is a better option right now. Anthony Edwards is a better option. They have upside. With Paul George, you just hope he somehow, approximates a little of his best season. And put better.
In fairness, though, to Paul George, I think the whole Clippers are not playing well. They're 1-4. I mean, for a team who was quote unquote, supposedly a contender, they have been starting really bad. So other than Zubac, I think Zubac is their best fantasy player right now. Other than him, there's no one. Everyone's been struggling. If you look at the stats, right? I mean, Zubac and John Wall would probably be their top two guys there. The rest, Norm Powell is just starting to pick it up. Plus, Paul George came from an illness, so maybe that had an effect. But like you said, it's just disappointing that without Kawhi, he can't show much.
Yes, supposedly with the healed elbow. Yeah, supposedly with the healed elbow. So hopefully,
but that's healed, right? I mean, there's
supposedly with healed. So he should shoot better. Let's hope.
Yeah, and just maybe early season struggle. So buy low opportunity there. Harder, like these players we talked about. These are hard buy low. These are hard buys for a lot of you guys. I mean, AD, Paul George. Who are you gonna trade them for? Even the Sadiq, right? Bojan. Who are you gonna exchange them for?
We gave some options, so let's see if they can.
So hopefully you'll be able to get or try those options. But if it's hard to get a one-on-one deal, maybe package them, add them to someone else who's hot, who's a more appealing fantasy piece, right? In terms of there are players that are easily tradable. There are players that even if they're struggling, they are easy to trade. I mean, Jabari would probably easier to trade just because he's struggling. So if you want to package him there, just to sweeten the deal and just to unload maybe your risk players, why not, right? And get a more assured player in return, right? Why not? Players like there are a lot of players who haven't played. Chris Middleton, Garland, and LaMelo, three major names not yet playing. And some managers might be panicking, or even players like Rozier maybe has lowered value right now because they're injured. Sometimes you can target these guys as your sell high if you're selling high on certain players. All right, so that's it for this quickie. It's a nice discussion about trading and some buy low, sell high options. Hope you enjoyed this. Hope you like it, and please subscribe, guys, to our YouTube channel. We're closing in on 500 subscribers. Hopefully, we get that before week 10. That's a lot of weeks, so hopefully, there's 50 more subscribers there. So please subscribe YouTube channel, follow us on Facebook, and like I said, soon we'll be releasing a webpage. So we're pretty much excited for that as well. And that's it for our Daily Fantasy Quickie, guys. Good luck on week 3. Schedule analyzer is up on our Facebook page, and I've shared the link as well on our Twitter page to the web page, so you can just check that out to plan your streams and plan their pickups for the week. All right, guys, we'll see you guys again tomorrow. Bye bye.